Emma was a quiet girl who loved books more than anything. Every Saturday, she visited the small library in her town. The library, with its wooden shelves and the comforting smell of old paper, felt like a second home to her. Emma always found a cozy corner by the window, where she could read in peace. One day, as she pulled a book about adventures and faraway lands off the shelf, a folded piece of paper fell out. Surprised, she picked it up. The paper was yellowed with age, and the handwriting was neat, but slightly faded. The letter read, "Dear stranger, my name is Jack. I love this book, but I cannot keep it. I hope someone who reads it dreams of adventures like I do. I want to travel the world. I want to see mountains, oceans, and cities far away. But for now, I can only dream. Yours, Jack." Emma smiled. She imagined Jack as a boy with a backpack, ready to explore the world. But why had he left this letter? Had he ever traveled? She was curious to know more. That night, Emma couldn't stop thinking about the letter. She decided to write back, even though she didn't know if Jack would ever find it. The next day, Emma carefully wrote a letter. "Dear Jack, thank you for your letter. I found it in the library. I love books too, especially ones about adventures. I don't travel much, but I love imagining faraway places. Did you ever go on your journey? Yours, Emma." She slipped the letter into the same book and placed it back on the shelf. As she walked away, she felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. Would Jack ever see it? Weeks passed, and Emma nearly forgot about the letter. But one Saturday, when she returned to the library, she found the same book on a table. Her heart raced. She opened it and found a new letter inside. "Dear Emma, I can't believe someone found my letter. I haven't traveled much yet, but I still dream about it. Where do you want to go?" "I want to see Paris with its big tower and Japan with its cherry blossoms. Let's keep writing. Yours, Jack." Emma couldn't believe it. Jack had written back. She quickly replied, sharing her own dreams of visiting London with its red buses, and New York with its towering skyscrapers. For months, Emma and Jack exchanged letters. Each week, Emma shared little pieces of her life, her love of books, her quiet town, and her hope to be braver. Jack wrote about his dreams, his love of maps, and funny stories from his everyday life. Through their letters, Emma felt like she truly knew Jack. Sometimes, she shared her deepest fears. "Dear Jack, sometimes I feel small. The world is so big, and I don't know if I'll ever see it. But your letters make me feel brave. Thank you. Yours, Emma." Jack always wrote back with encouragement. "Dear Emma, you are not small. You have a big heart, and that's what matters. Even if you don't travel far, you can still have adventures in your own way. Yours, Jack." One day, Emma arrived at the library and saw a sign on the door. "The library will close next month. Thank you for your support. Emma's heart sank. She would lose her safe haven, her special corner, and the place where she found Jack's letters. What would happen to their friendship now? That night, Emma wrote her most heartfelt letter yet. Dear Jack, the library is closing. I don't know if we'll be able to write to each other anymore. I wish I could meet you, but I don't know where to find you. If this is our last letter, I want you to know that your words have changed me. You made me believe in myself. Yours always, Emma. She placed the letter in the book and returned it to the shelf. Her heart felt heavy as she walked away. A week later, Emma visited the library for what she thought would be the last time. She didn't expect to find anything. But when she opened the book, there was another letter waiting for her. Dear Emma, I don't want this to be the end. Let's meet. I'll be at the park by the old oak tree next Saturday at 3 p.m. If you don't come, I'll understand. But I hope you will. Yours, Jack. Emma's heart raced. Should she go? What if Jack wasn't how she imagined? What if he didn't like her? But deep down, she knew she had to try. On Saturday, Emma dressed in her favorite blue dress and carried a small notebook, just in case she wanted to write something. When she arrived at the park, the air was fresh, and the old oak tree stood tall. Her heart pounded as she looked around. Emma! A voice called softly behind her. She turned to see a boy with messy brown hair and a green jacket, holding a book in his hands. Jack? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He smiled nervously. Hi. They stood there for a moment, both unsure of what to say. Then they laughed, and all the nervousness melted away. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Jack met often. They explored the town, shared stories, and talked about their dreams. But one day, Jack shared some difficult news. My family is moving to a bigger city, he said. My dad got a new job. Emma felt her heart sink. When? She asked quietly. In a month, Jack replied. But I don't want to stop writing to you. Emma nodded. But the thought of him leaving made her feel small again. Before Jack left, Emma gave him one last letter. Dear Jack, I'm so glad we met. Your letters and your friendship have changed my life. You made me believe that I can be brave and dream big, even if you move away. I hope we can keep writing. And one day, I hope we'll meet again in another adventure. Yours always, Emma. Jack smiled as he read it. I'll write back soon, he promised. And maybe one day, we'll meet under another oak tree. Years later, Emma stood in front of the Empire State Building in New York City. She had finally saved enough to travel, just as she and Jack had dreamed. Before she left, she sent him a letter. Dear Jack, I'm going to New York. It's the first stop on my adventure. Thank you for helping me believe in this dream. If you ever want to join me, let me know. Yours, Emma. To her surprise, Jack replied quickly, Dear Emma, New York sounds amazing. I'll meet you there. Let's see the world together. One place at a time. Yours, Jack. When they met again in the bustling streets of New York, Emma realized something important. Dreams might begin as letters hidden in a book. But with hope and courage, they can grow into something much bigger.